guys ready for some lunch kit comedy? Yeah!
They say laughter is the best medicine, especially when paired with leftovers or a PB&J sandwich. Okay, maybe no one has ever said that, but they will after this. This week, comedian Dakota Ray Hebert is serving up laughs at 3 lunchtime shows, and she's here to tell us all about it. Hi, Dakota.
Good morning.
Okay, the shows are called Lunch Kit Comedy, but what inspired you to bring, I guess, comedy to people's lunch hour?
So it's loosely inspired by Calgary's Lunchbox Theatre. They do these 45-minute plays for everyone in the downtown area. And I saw that in like 2013 when I was doing a play there. And it still stuck with me after all this time. And we were looking at our art bar schedules, and I'm not very pregnant. I'm halfway pregnant. I'm about 19 weeks pregnant. And I'm tired now, and I don't want to be out late at night doing comedy shows. And so I'm trying to think of selfish ways to do my work, but in the afternoon. So it's kind of inspirational, kind of selfish, and kind of just like offering a new, different way to take in comedy and on people's lunch breaks. We had a pretty good turnout when we did like the sample test run on March 16th, I believe it was. And a lot of people that were there really requested more matinees. And so we're testing out 2 other matinee shows on Saturday afternoons this month. And we've got a whole run of Wednesday through Friday comedy lunch kit comedy shows happening this month too.
I have to admit, I don't think I've ever watched stand-up comedy except at nighttime, so I can only imagine the lunchtime crowd might be a little different. What are you expecting from this crowd?
We still had people buying beer, so like lunchtime doesn't necessarily mean, I don't know what people do for a living, and I'm curious when I see you buy some beers, but it's also, maybe you want to woo a client or something or what have you, or maybe you just have that day off, but I was nervous about that too, having done stand-up for so long. You kind of avoid the afternoon sober corporate crowds. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a nightmare having done some of those shows. I'm like, you don't actually want a comedian. You want a funny MC. I'm so sorry I'm about to drop these jokes on you. But when people come into a comedy club knowing that they're coming to see stand-up comedy, making that choice, and the beauty of Art Bar is we have no natural light in our theater, so you actually feel like you're in a comedy club at night until you walk out and you're blinded by the sun again.
Right.
But yeah, I had a good time. We got some good laughs, and it was a small but mighty crowd, and we're looking to fill them up now.
Do you have to change the jokes or material for a lunchtime crowd, or do you just roll with it?
That's something I'm excited to experiment with. There's certain things you can get away with in the evenings under the blanket of night, and the comfort of knowing that for sure everyone has had at least 2 drinks to kind of lubricate their what they find acceptable. But in the afternoons, I think that they're still, I still laugh at things, in the daytime. So I think that, maybe it's fair game, but I do find I'm more cautious about like what I'm sharing, especially, when it comes to jokes, talking about pregnancy stuff, there's some gross things that happen when pregnancy. I'm not going to share that at lunchtime. You're eating. So there are some things I, temper back.
You just need to have like a lunchtime mom crowd. Those stay-at-home moms, just moms only.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Then you could just roll with the jokes.
This is every month as like a new update of like, this is new. Did you guys know this?
Yeah, it's so relatable. Okay, we are living in some pretty interesting times right now. The world is an interesting place. How do you see comedy kind of playing a role in helping people get through it or take that break from it?
We need reprieve. We need a break from, there's too much, and I feel this as someone who, I like knowing what's going on in the world. I like being informed, but sometimes there's too much informed. There's too much, there's posts all over about like, April Fool's Day is canceled because nothing can compare to what's actually happening in the world, and that's accurate. Like, there's so many times when I've been like, what? This is real? And so I think stand-up comedy is a beacon, is like a nice, it's community as well. You have a whole group of people, a whole bunch of locals coming together to hee-haw at a bunch of things, and then you feel good, and then you also, now you have this weird bond with all of us together, these inside jokes. And it's also in real life. I think that so much online is filtered or AI now, and it's unsettling. I don't really like going online anymore. The internet is kind of dead to me. And I think that as AI furthers and filters further, I think we're going to be craving that human connection. And so lunchtime comedy shows, you can dip your toes into some human connection.
Well, I mean, no matter what shift you work, even the 9 to 5, can get a little bit monotonous. Comedy, a great way to break up the workday. What do you hope people kind of take away from these shows?
I hope that they just feel like, I just hope that we keep offering other ways to take in shows. They're able to support local acts at a time when their kids are in school or in daycare, and not have to feel guilty about or stressed about finding a babysitter or finding something to eat or what are we going to do? Oh my gosh, it's just come in, sit down, laugh at some jokes, and head back to work. And we did the hard work for you. And that I just hope that people enjoy that. We've got Mitchell Doran coming up next week, Afrin Sarka, then Jenny Ryan and Lachlan McWilliams. And I'm hoping that we keep that train rolling, especially through the summertime. I think that'll be nice for people to come by and take in some AC if they're working outside or what have you. But yeah, I hope that people will enjoy it and enjoy coming and take some comics. I'm hoping that it attracts our touring comics to want to stay a little bit longer and want to do the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday runs for the people who can attend their Friday night and Saturday night shows. So there's a lot that we're hoping to attract, but right now we're still in an experimental stage. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Or maybe even get some of those comics, rather than flying over Saskatoon, make a little pit stop on your way to somewhere on the weekend.
Yes, well, and that's what we've been finding since we've opened. It's been such a joy to get all these messages from people that are like, hey, I'm coming through. Can we stop there? And then we coax them towards Regina's The Exchange. And so we're kind of developing this cute little Saskatoon circuit, Regina circuit thing back and forth. Because we catch people on their way from Edmonton to Saskatoon to Regina to Winnipeg. And so we're getting some boosting the economy.
Yeah, make Saskatoon a stop.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck. I'll have to come check it out because I'm done at lunch hour.
Oh my gosh, come by.
Maybe I can just have a beer.
Yes, yes.